This is the Integral, a true stereo dual convolution pedal for use with guitar or line level sources like synthesizers, drum machines or even mixing consoles. It lets you accurately recreate acoustic spaces or time-based effects units, but also gives you the tools to transform these spaces to be completely out of this world. On top, we have the stereo ins and outs. On the right, we have a power input and a line instrument level switch, similar to what you'd find on most audio interfaces. On the left side, we have sockets for an expression pedal and a USB stick. And this is the real intent behind the Integral. While it comes preloaded with a bunch of cool impulses, its real strength is allowing the user to load their own impulse responses from a thumb drive. Convolution isn't just about reverbs. You can create very interesting sounds by loading in samples that aren't traditional impulse responses. Convolution isn't just about reverbs. You can create very interesting sounds by loading in samples that aren't traditional impulse responses. And of course, the Integral isn't just for guitar. Take a guess what the input signal of this sound is. Let's go over some of the controls. On top we have the play button, which previews the selected impulse, and a shift button for selecting secondary functions. Next to them we have the select encoder. With this we can scroll through our list of impulses and press it to select one. Now we are on the main screen. Pressing the encoder will switch between the A and B convolvers. You can think of these as almost two separate pedals. Pressing the encoder while holding shift opens the settings menu, but we'll go over that some other time. Below the encoder is the wet level knob. This controls the volume of the affected signal. Turning this knob while holding shift controls the dry signal level. And down here we have the release knob to control the length of the impulse. With shift this controls the attack instead, allowing you to turn pretty much any reverb into a reverse reverb. And in the middle is the position knob. This allows you to select a later part of the impulse. Counterintuitively, leaving off the beginning of an impulse can make reverbs sound even bigger. Next to that, we have the pre-delay knob. It goes from 0 all the way up to 2 seconds. While holding Shift, this controls a high-pass filter to prevent bass-heavy impulse responses from spiraling out of control. The crossfade knob sets the blend between your A and B convolvers. In the middle, they're equally loud. With Shift, it sets the slew time. This one might require a bit more explanation. You see, when some of the parameters are changed, the impulse needs to be recalculated. A longer slew time smooths out these changes, but some knobs will take a bit longer to respond. A shorter slew time will respond faster, but it might get a little choppy when other parameters are changed. And finally, the stereo width, from mono all the way to exaggerated stereo. Holding Shift while turning this knob changes the pitch, not of your signal, but of the impulse itself. You can use this, for instance, to match resonating samples to a key, but it also changes the duration of a sample. So you could also use it to make reverbs longer or shorter. The A and B foot switches switch on and off the A and B convolvers respectively. With Shift, the A foot switch enables recording. You can record your playing or any other sound into the integral and use it for convolution right away. Pressing the B foot switch while holding Shift saves this recording to the USB drive. And if you hold both Shift and B for a second, it saves your current settings as well. You can recall those from the file chooser, and the integral will recall the last saved settings when it starts up as well. For more information on the integral and our other products, like this GR1 over here, check out tastychips.nl. Thanks for watching.